welcome. My name is Justin Payton. I am the president of Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, and I am sure happy to have you all here as we make recognitions for excellence. This is our Profiles in Excellence dinner, and without further ado, we will get started with dinner. So welcome to the event. By all means, keep enjoying your all's company, and we will start the program just a little bit later, but for right now, if you don't mind, I'm going to bless the food quickly, and then we will move forward with eating instructions. If you would like, please bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for time together. Thank you for time that we invest in your work through each other. And thank you for all those who help us in our mission here at the college. Please accept our prayers, and please allow us to use this food to the nourishment of our bodies so that we can continue doing your work. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Tonight's recognition of our 2019 class of distinguished alumni shows how Elizabethtown Community and Technical College creates better lives. Our students go on to have a lasting impact on their professions and communities, and we are honored to be a small part of your success story. This year's class brings together honorees from all walks of life, with journeys that started right here in Elizabethtown or all the way in China. I'm grateful to have Susan Gifford, a fellow member of our Distinguished Alumni Program and one of the founding members of ECTC's Alumni Network, here to introduce our first two honorees. Susan?
Good evening. I have to say this first. Although I received an A in the public speaking course that I took here at ECTC about a decade ago, I think, public speaking is not my favorite. It's not my strong suit. So tonight, though, when I was asked tonight to introduce two of the distinguished alumni, I didn't hesitate to say yes. In her introduction, Megan stated that the college was honored to be part of our stories, but my immediate agreement to speak tonight is because I am grateful for the college, I'm grateful that the college afforded me the opportunity to have a story. Receiving this award in 2017 was one of the greatest accomplishments I've been honored with, and I know each of tonight's awardees feel the same. Tonight, I'm honored to present two distinguished alumni that were unable to make it tonight. The first is Dr. Nicholas Bennett Gonzalez. Dr. Gonzalez was a first-generation college student who lived and worked in the Central Kentucky region until joining the U.S. Army in 2008. Dr. Gonzalez worked full-time while completing his Associate of Arts degree at ECTC and went on to earn a BS in Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, and Doctor of Psychology degrees. He is currently a Sexual Assault Response Coordinator for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. He was named the Department of Defense Exceptional Sexual Assault Response Coordinator of the Year in 2018, and he has spent countless hours advocating for victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, and other crimes. He also provided therapy at a nonprofit counseling center part-time and serves in the California State Guard. His husband, Miguel, is an active duty Army soldier currently serving in Alaska, and his daughter, Brenna, is a freshman at Meade County High School in Brandenburg. Dr. Gonzalez graduated from ECTC in 2004 and describes his experience as being a turning point in his life. ECTC offered a low-cost local program that allowed me to obtain general education credits for transfer to a four-year university, said Dr. Gonzalez. Without the quality education I received at ECTC, I would not have been successful in my additional educational pursuits, which included a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate degree. Dr. Gonzalez is not able to join us tonight, but the award will be accepted by his daughter, Brenna Bennett Johnston. Brenna?
Good evening. I am Brenda Bennett Johnston, and I am accepting this award on behalf of my father, Dr. Nicholas Bennett Gonzalez, who currently works and lives in California and could not be with us tonight. He asked me to share a few words on his behalf. My father began attending ECTC in January 2001, a first-generation college student. ECTC was the most affordable, conveniently located institution of higher education nearest Brandenburg, Kentucky, where he was living and working at the time. He graduated with an Associate in Arts degree with distinction in May 2004. My dad is very proud of his successes at ECTC and recalls fondly the day he walked the line and became the first member of his family and extended family to receive a college degree. Without the affordability and geographic location of the school, this would not likely have been possible. You can imagine his excitement about the recent expansions of the campus in the Brandenburg area. Aside from location and cost, my dad felt he received a high-quality education that prepared him for the rest of his educational endeavors. He went on to earn a bachelor's degree in business administration, a master of business administration, and, most recently, a doctor of psychology degree. He credits all his subsequent educational milestones, including success with dissertation writing, to the early knowledge and skills obtained through general education courses at ECTC. My dad has realized directly the benefits of continuing education. He has used his education to gain invaluable work experience during his early professional life. His education allowed him to excel and advance through the ranks in the military. And finally, his education has allowed him to broaden his role in a field for which he is very passionate, the behavioral and social sciences, specifically advocacy on the behalf of victims of violent crimes. My dad wanted to thank the ECTC President's Cabinet, as well as the contributing committee and board members for this esteemed honor. He also wanted to thank all of you here in attendance this evening, especially those members of his family who have come out to support him, and to offer his congratulations to the other award recipients. He feels it is an honor to be nominated alongside such remarkable members of the community. Receiving this award is so special and humbling for him, as he has always held a special place in his heart for the people in the community and the faculty and staff at ECTC who helped him along the path of reaching his first educational goal. It is his hope that he continues building upon the foundation established during his time at ECTC so that he can continue being a voice for those who are often silenced. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this special evening.
Wow, that's how you appropriately execute public speaking.
The next distinguished alumni I have the honor of introducing is the Reverend Jin Ming Ma. Reverend Ma grew up in China. After a chance meeting with a group of Americans visiting on a trip sponsored by the United Methodist Church, Jin Ming was sponsored by Jack and Alice Scott to come to Elizabethtown. Jin Ming completed 2 years at ECC and went on to earn a bachelor's degree from Lindsey Wilson College. Jin Ming was called to ministry and enrolled in Lexington Theological Seminary before moving to Washington, where she completed ordination as an elder in the United Methodist Church. She has served as the pastor of Coopville United Methodist Church since 2007 and is well known as a fixture in the community. In 2008, she was elected from among 300 candidates as the first clergy to represent the Pacific Northwest Conference of the United Methodist Church attending the UMC General Conference. Jin Ming and her husband reside on Whidbey Island, Washington, and their daughter, son-in-law, and 2 grandchildren live in Seattle. When asked about her time at ECC, Jin Ming recalls caring teachers with kind smiles who encouraged her and found creative ways of teaching. ECC opened my eyes and mind to experience the great American educational system, built up my confidence and faith to recognize my gifts, and helped me serve the Lord and others with gratitude. Reverend Jin Ming Ma was not able to join us tonight, but accepting the award on her behalf is Reverend Rachel Marshall.
I talked with Jean Ming on the phone yesterday, and she is so sorry that she's not here with us tonight, but she certainly sends her love and her gratitude to all of you at ECC. So thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Tracy Bratcher, and I'm representing the Social and Behavioral Sciences this evening. I have the honor and privilege tonight of introducing Mr. Michael Todd Edlund. Todd Edlund is a senior manager and flight applications for UPS, where he has worked for over 30 years. Todd is responsible for the development and maintenance of many critical applications for the UPS airline and was a senior manager in the design and implementation of a global communications network both in the United States and in Europe. Todd has served in many leadership roles and is active in UPS campaign to support United Way. He holds a BA in Marketing and Economics from the University of Kentucky and a Master's in Technology Management from the University of Phoenix. Todd and his wife Teresa have 2 children, Megan and Tyler, and they reside here in Elizabethtown. Todd attended ECC, Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, from 1984 to 1986. He recalls his time fondly and being filled with many new experiences. His most vivid memory was when he had first started attending the college. In his first class, he sat next to a biker and middle-aged female student and appreciated how they shared many different perspectives. I had not only had the type of experience before where we were all sharing on the equal platform, shared Todd. It was a great place to be introduced to life after high school. It was large enough to give you the college feel, but not so large that you would get lost. I was better prepared to enter my time at UK, and ECC was a perfect springboard for my future.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you, ECTC, for all the things that you do in the community here. And I am very honored and humbled and blessed to be here today to get this award. And I've been extremely fortunate throughout my life to have strong foundations to build from that have allowed me to be successful. The first of those foundations for me was my belief in God and Jesus Christ, and that's helped me through so many tough times in life. My second foundation has been family support because the family's always been there to support me, and I've got a table full of them over here who came to support me tonight as well. And I also appreciate most of all my wife, Teresa. Teresa, she's always been there to support me through everything. She worked full-time. She took care of our 2 kids. And worked a lot of, I worked a lot of long hours and traveled extensively for the company doing different things around the globe. So sometimes I was gone 2 or 3 weeks at a time. So I'm not sure how she ever even did all the things that she did. But that third foundation is education, and that's where ECTC really played a critical role in my life. So when Megan asked us to share a couple of minutes about an experience, and one of them was mentioned by Tracy when she was talking about it, it took me back to share a moment back when I first came on campus, my first summer. So I really wasn't going to tell what year it was, but I think that already came out. So I didn't think the year was that important, but it was that summer of 1984. Just graduated high school and ready to jump into the world, and then. Basically, I was just an 18-year-old, and of course it was the infamous English 101 class, right? So I walk into class, not to, got there a little bit early because I didn't know what to expect being new. And, I got in the classroom and I thought, well, it'll be kind of the same as high school. But soon found out it wasn't. It was very different. People began filing in the class, and they were from different walks of life. Some who were already working and out into the world, and some who were older and younger. And so I had a middle-aged lady come and sit down to the right side of me, and then in comes this big, burly biker with the leather on, chains on, and long beard, scraggly beard down here. He was a pretty intimidating looking guy for a guy just coming out of high school. And of course, he sat right next to me. And it turned out to be, throughout the semester, he was a pretty cool dude, but it was pretty intimidating that first day. So the teacher went on through the class and began to give some examples and ask us different questions. And at one point said, hey, can you guys make a simile with the word busy, and had everybody give different examples. So, of course, they went around the class. The lady next to me on the right said, busy as a bee, and I'm sure I gave some lame answer just to kind of get through the process. And then she came to the biker, and the dude stood up in his burly voice and said, I'm as busy as a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. And I can tell you the class erupted in laughter, but mainly because it wasn't the word but. It was more conservative back then, and I toned it down because of the audience. But he didn't use the word but, and of course the class laughed, and I thought, whoa, here we go. Let's see how the teacher handles this, because in the transition. But this teacher did an amazing thing at that point. The teacher then didn't look at him at how he was dressed or how he talked or how he acted in the class or where he came from. What she did was more interested in, was he right? And she also then was looking at where he was going with his life, not where he had been. So she began to compliment him on how well he did on it. And believe me, he was very proud of that example that he gave for the class. So it was a pretty wow moment for me. I was like, wow, this is a whole new world. It's really more that the revelation came to me that education was the great equalizer to everyone. And that's something that I needed to focus on, because it really doesn't matter your background or where you come from. You need the education that you can get starting right here at ECTC to help grow that seed and help that become something. So ECTC started that foundation for me, and I always carried that with me, that you never want to stop learning. And a lesson I continue to this day. And in recent months, I've been exposed to several things about the new programs that ECT is putting together, and they're looking to put some new plans together for existing students and for future students and interaction in the community. And they've got some pretty cool stuff coming. So I thought that was good, and this tells me that they're going to become the foundation for many other future distinguished alumni. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mike Hazard. I am representing the Technical Division and Workforce Solutions. David Pace is a Brandenburg native and has played a key role in the economic growth of the region. He served for 8 years as mayor of Brandenburg, and during that time was key in facilitating the base realignment and closure transformation at Fort Knox. He has also been heavily involved in supporting Nucor's development of a $1.35 billion steel mill in Meade County. David is a fixture at the Meade County Fair, serving on the board since 1984 and as the fair manager since 1994. He was president of the Kentucky Association of Fairs and was recognized for his leadership with the Meade County Farm Bureau Community Service Award and William Taylor Community Service Award. David is vice president of member services and marketing of Meade County RECC and has helped build the reputation of Kentucky's electric cooperatives as important economic development drivers. David and his wife Sharon have 3 adult children and 4 grandchildren. David attended ECC from 1974 to 1975 and again in 1979 to 1981. He was especially grateful to Dr. Dale Buckles, who left a lasting impression on him and fondly recalls playing many hours of ping pong in the Student Center. ECC helped me prepare for the future by being more prepared and organized, knowing that it was my job to be ready to learn. Mr. David Pace.
Well, he took some of my thunder. I thought, when they called or Megan sent the email, they always ask, what's your first phone call? Well, mine was to Megan to say her computer had been hacked. So the truth of it is, this is an honor to me. And I realized when I kind of set in that it only took 45 years for them to name the ping pong room after me. So I was pretty good, but that was all I did. I was not a model student when I got here, but the Elizabethtown Community College never gave up on me. And that's the thing that meant the most to me, was the fact, When I wasn't a star student, they still had me come back and allowed me to come back. And I still to this day am honored to say I attended this university, and it's always been a part of my life to say I enjoyed being here, and I'll stay that. It's a lot different looking today than it was in 1974, though. There was 3 buildings, and it's a massive accomplishment to what's gone on, and it's really a great asset for this entire community, and not just Elizabethtown, all the region involved. I thank my family for coming tonight and my friends, and I just appreciate this honor more than you know. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Beverly Dial, and I'm Vice Chair of the Arts and Humanities Division. Tonight, I am so pleased to recognize Gina Ryan, who is the Director of Hardin County Educational and Community Television and has 34 years of experience teaching students and adults. She graduated from Elizabethtown Community College and completed her bachelor's degree in communication and her master's degree in education from the University of Louisville. Gina has trained literally thousands of students, teachers, and community members in media production, many of whom went on to have successful careers in communication. She worked as an instructor for Fort Knox schools prior to beginning her career with Hardin County Schools in 1998. She's considered one of the leading media arts teachers in the state and has presented at state and national technology conferences. Under Gina's direction, the HCEC-TV staff and students weekly produce quality educational, informational, and entertaining programs which showcase Hardin County schools, local government, and community events. And she is very proud to bring these wonderful stories to the community and now globally, since HCEC-TV is streaming on their YouTube channel. She was recognized as a Hardin County Schools Distinguished Alumni in 2004. She received the Radcliffe Hardin County Chamber of Commerce Education Award in 2009 and was awarded the University of Kentucky Prize for Teaching Journalism and Communications in 2014. Gina is an active volunteer for St. Bridget Catholic Church, and she and her husband Mike reside in Rineyville and are the parents of 2 children and 6 grandchildren. And I'm especially happy to introduce Gina because for 31 years, she or a designee has filmed the Spelling Bowl in this very venue and has done a wonderful job. So we have been acquainted for quite a long time. So, Gina.
I'll try to be brief. I'm truly honored and humbled. I thank my husband for nominating me and for the committee deciding that I was someone distinguished. Kendra and I both said that if both of us are going in, we're probably scraping the bottom of the barrel. But we're in good company today, Kendra. I've been truly blessed. I am a first-generation college student. My brothers and sisters and my dad said, "What are you going to college for? You can get a job anywhere." And I said, "That's true. I can get a job anywhere, but I want a career." And from that day forward, walking into ECC with terrific teachers. Dr. Camille Hill was always in choir and sung in all the programs. Her husband, Dr. Robert Hill, gave me a love of world civilization literature. Dr. Toohey, I never failed to not read what he assigned because of all of his, everybody knows that. And then finally, Jean Dungeon, who taught this country girl French, and no, I cannot say one word of French other than au revoir. I am truly blessed in that I have a great family, my husband and my son Blake and my daughter Samantha back there and their lovely spouses Danielle and Pat. And everyone at that table back there, along with Anna over here, they have worked blood, sweat, and tears covering things for this community because if I didn't have staff, they were there to help me. And that's the one thing that I truly treasure, is that no matter what I do, day in and day out, students get to tell the great stories that are going on in Hardin County schools, in the Hardin County community, in our local governments, and for all the nonprofits. And many of you in here, we've worked together, and we've done a lot of things with even ECTC and had some series, and I just think that we're blessed. And even though I thought that I might be Marty Brenneman's sidekick with the Cincinnati Reds back when I was in the 8th grade, I soon realized that this country girl wasn't going to go very far from the country. So I'm truly blessed, and I thank you all for recognizing me. Thank you again.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Sean Kelly, Chair of the Physical Science and Related Technology Division, and it is my distinct honor to introduce Kendra Stewart Scott. She is the Community Relations Liaison for the Lincoln Trail Behavioral Health System and a Realtor with RealMax, the Janet team. She has worked in radio, the nonprofit sector, and banking, and dedicates herself to serving the community. Kendra is an active volunteer who has impacted many organizations, including the Association of the United States Army, Springhaven Domestic Violence Program, Elizabethtown Police Foundation, Hospice, Hooray for Heroes, Elizabethtown Rotary Club, and her church, First Baptist Church of Elizabethtown. Kendra is an appointed member of the Elizabethtown Planning Commission and Lincoln Trail Area Development District Board of Directors. She is a graduate of Western Kentucky University, where she is a member of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, and she is a founding member of the ECTC Alumni Network, and was recognized by the Hardin County Chamber of Commerce with the Ronnie Pennis Chamber Champion Award in 2019. Kendra lives in Elizabethtown with her husband, William, and is a devoted aunt to her 2 nieces. When asked about her time at ECTC, Kendra shared that ECC prepared me to enter the field of communications by providing solid examples of leadership, opportunities for volunteerism, and giving me confidence, which is what I needed most to succeed. Kendra shared, as a student, I learned more about accountability, commitment, and hard work. ECC helped me successfully transition to WKU and to excel there. This experience gave me a strong foundation and a belief that I would succeed in any area that I choose. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Kendra Stewart Scott.
Put this little baby right there. I first always have to tell people I'm not that Kendra Scott with the jewelry line, so if she had gone to ECC, I'm sure she would be inducted because she's quite distinguished, but I give her a lot of publicity and business with my name, so free jewelry for everybody in the room tonight. Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much for this. I am truly honored and blessed, and I did tell Jean, I'm like, are you kidding me? When I got the email, and my wonderful dear friend Susan, my sister from another mister who nominated me, I will get you later, because I'm like, I certainly don't deserve this. I'm very humbled, honored, and flattered. ECC for me, like I said, has always been home. I still call it ECC. I remember being about 4 or 5 years old, and I had older relatives and friends that came here. So me thinking I was a big kid would come and hang out with them. So I remember hanging out in the library and coming and watching the Barons play ball. And I saw a couple ping pong games, Mr. Pace. So it was fun. And so for me, I kind of knew I'd end up here. So in 1989, we were a military family. We had just moved back to Kentucky, and I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, and we were here in Elizabethtown. So lo and behold, ECC was the place. And for me, it was great. I guess if my parents were still paying, I'd still be here. But it was wonderful because I was able to have wonderful teachers like Miss Linda Howard, who really As a person, you know me that I love words and not so much numbers, but she made algebra actually somewhat enjoyable and understandable, and I'm so glad I didn't have to take it when I got to Western. I was able to do it here, excel, I got my A, and I got out of there. And I had, again, Madame, who I love, and Dr. and Mrs. Hill, and I was able to participate in theater. I know you find that hard to believe, Dr. Pate. Did some theater here with the campus, and so it was phenomenal. All the experiences I had were great, from the Halloween parties to the snowball fights to stressing over finals. It was a wonderful place for me, and then I was able to transition to Western. And again, because of ECC, I was able to get a scholarship and transition. So for me, this was my foundation and always will be, and I'm just honored and blessed to call it home and honored and blessed to be a part of this very esteemed elite group. So thank you for this. It means the world to me. I am humbled and honored, and I will treasure this always. So thank you.
Good evening. My name is Darren Powell. I am the academic officer here at the college. So it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our Profiles of Excellence Lifetime Achievement Award honorees. I did not have the pleasure of working with these individuals directly, but I can tell you that their legacy at this institution lives on. I hear a lot of stories, all positive, about these individuals. They have certainly left a lasting impact on this institution through their valued service, dedication, and efforts here at the college. Our first honoree, this year's recipient began his education with a Bachelor's of Science in Physics from the University of Notre Dame in 1963. He went on to receive his Master's of Science and PhD in Physics from Florida State University before joining the faculty of Elizabethtown Community and Technical College. He served on a number of advisory and ad hoc committees to improve student and institutional performance, such as the Distance Learning Committee, University Undergraduate Council, coordinator for the Elizabethtown Quality Technical Programs, the Committee to Develop Quality Technical Courses for the Community College System, the Advisory Committee on Appointment, Promotion, and Tenure, and the University of Kentucky Rules Committee. His students knew him as a teacher who had high expectations, but also sincerely cared about them, making himself readily available outside of class to help any who struggled. In the words of a former student, he can sense when students are having difficulty in an area and adapt his teaching style to fit the needs of the students. He showed outstanding competence, resourcefulness, patience, and adaptability. He is definitely among the best teachers from whom I have had the privilege of learning. This commitment to his students led to his being recognized as Great Teacher of the Year by his students in 1990. His passion for education extended well beyond the scope of the college, however. He served countless hours working with middle and high school academic teams, such as Math Bowl, Academic and Scholastic Challenge, Governor's Cup. His involvement with the local industrial community, including service as a consultant to a number of local businesses, conducting SBC training sessions, and participation in the Kentucky Energy Conservation Consortium. Throughout his years, this recipient exemplified the mission of Elizabethtown Community and Technical College of making lives better. It is with gratitude and pride that I bestow this Lifetime Achievement Award to Dr. Dennis Morrow.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this honor. I was unaware of it until just a couple of weeks ago when I got an invitation in the mail. So again, thank you very much. I would like to acknowledge three groups of people without whom I could not have done anything like the achievement list that was read out. First of all, my students. Without them, I couldn't have done anything. Secondly, my colleagues on the faculty, from whom I learned a very, very great deal about delivering knowledge and information. And third, from the administrative and support staff here at the college. And without them, I couldn't have gotten anything done at all. And lastly, I would like to thank my wife, Carolyn. Unfortunately, she was not able to be here with us tonight, but I'm sure that she's aware of what's going on. Thank you.
Our second honoree, I will start out with a quote that categorized his feelings. Teachers are managers of information. Software will merely amplify that ability for better or for worse. This quote from our next honoree was the educational philosophy and guiding force of his career. Joining ECC faculty in 1966, after earning his Master's of Science degree at the University of New Mexico in biology, he was appointed chairman of the Division of Biological Sciences for the college after only 1 year on staff. In 1972, he developed audio tutorial aids known as sound slides that proved highly successful in aiding students' learning. That same year, he was named the University of Kentucky Alumni Association's Great Teacher of the Year, the first teacher from ECC to win the award. In 1974, he was named the Outstanding Educator in America, and his peers chose him as one of the 3 best teachers at ECC. Through the coming years, he would win many more teaching accolades at local, state, and national levels. His contributions extended beyond the classroom into the community, from water testing for the Lincoln Trail Audubon Society and judging the Hardin County High School Science Fair to establishing a much-needed pharmacology course on the campus for local dentists. In 1980, his true passion became apparent as he began writing educational software programs that employed multimedia presentations of biological concepts. In 1987, his software proposal in microbiology earned him a complete computer system from IBM. He went on to write the Animal Viral Replication Mechanisms, AVRM. By the next year, AVRM was in place at ECC and the University of Wisconsin. He received the Competition for Excellence Award from the League of Innovation in Community Colleges and IBM Corporation, and was the only recipient from Kentucky. The coming years would find him presenting his concepts of computer-aided learning at conferences nationally and internationally. His commitment to Elizabethtown remained strong throughout, as evidenced by his creation of the Professor Modesto del Castillo Excellence in Science Scholarship for students following in a STEM course of study. We are proud and honored to present the Profiles of Excellence Lifetime Achievement Award to Professor Modesto del Castillo.
Lifetime achievement. I guess Dennis and I are getting old at this point in life. When I came here in 1966, there was just this one building. And from that point on for 40 years, I encountered phenomenal students. And the faculty here was great. I don't know how James Owen did. He was the first president. In those days, they called them directors. But he managed to put a bunch of us together in the 60s, and that was phenomenal, and it was a privilege. I should also thank my beautiful wife, Leanne, for putting up with me for 32 years. Thank you.
It's very humbling to share some time with the folks that have been up here. I love the name of this event, it's Profiles in Excellence. And you look at the excellence that has been here, and it's, the greatest thing is just it's representative. It's not the only excellence that has ever come through ECTC, won't be the last. But it's representative of what this college does, what it stands for, what these faculty and staff live their lives to do, because that excellence also doesn't end with these individuals. It continues on in every life that they touch. And every family member, friend, co-worker, employee, whoever the case may be, the folks that had a little value added to their lives here didn't keep it all for themselves. They've returned that out many times over to others in our very own communities. So it's very humbling and a very big blessing to be a part of an organization that has its mission at the heart of that work. So how about one more round of applause for everybody that's been recognized thus far? David, I can tell you, as a student, you and I would have been really good friends. That's also why it took me 3 years to get my 2-year degree, but now it's pretty tough on the ping pong table.
My children followed me, but it's going longer too.
Didn't mean to start something there, son. I'm sorry. Well, folks, we've got a few more recognitions that we wanted to share tonight as we continue to celebrate excellence. We wanted to also recognize some folks who have strongly committed resources, time, energy to our college so that we can continue to advance. And I've paid attention, a lot of folks that spoke up here talked about the growth of the college. And that growth is important. Our region is growing. The scope of what is happening in our region is growing. The college has to grow to continue to support all the growth that's happening around us. So these next 3 recognitions are reserved for folks who represent organizations who have each contributed over $100,000 or more to the college to advance our initiatives. So without further ado, would like to first recognize Hardin Memorial Health. And Hardin Memorial Health is represented by Ms. Sharon Wright this evening. And Sharon, I am absolutely going to make you stand up so that everybody can see your pretty face. I would also like to recognize Altec, and Altec is represented by Mr. Chad Sarver. Now, you will notice, Chad, that I wanted Sharon to stand up so everybody could see her pretty face. I didn't say anything when you stood up. But I do love you, brother, and I appreciate you being here. And finally, Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center in Grayson County, represented by Trina Davis and Patty Bratcher this evening. All the way in the back. See, I like your all style, right by the exit door. The minute this sucker is over, you all are out. And closest to the food line. Yes, okay. I see your true motivations. Folks, we just want to take some time to share their contribution with you. We will be going out to their places of business to have a little celebration with them, some recognitions. But folks, really appreciate what you have done to help us advance our missions. Since last fall, ECTC has received numerous gifts. One that we are very proud of is over $145,000 worth of scholarship, new scholarship money that has led to 8 new scholarship funds. All right, so you think about what the good that is being done with our community resources for our students. The 3 donors that we recognized tonight, Altech, HMH, and Twin Lakes, all donated toward our university center. And what we are doing with the University Center is developing a platform for 4-year colleges to bring baccalaureate degrees to this campus, through which any of our graduates can then seamlessly transfer to that program and continue with their baccalaureate degree right here. So when we talk about things that this college can do to impact the 20-year future of our region, the 40-year future of our region, you know, things like the University Center are imperative. And those things didn't have to happen. The college and the community chose to make them happen. And partners like HMH and Altech and Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center, they're making those things a reality. So that's what tonight is about. It's about celebrating excellence. Excellence in vision, excellence in mission, excellence in participation, and of course, excellence in achievement for what these individuals have done. Very blessed and honored to be here. Appreciate the time with you all. I have one more introduction to make. We have a student who is going to come share a little bit regarding her journey and how some of the things that we talk about here have impacted her life. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Shailena Southard. Come up to the microphone and let her say just a few words. Shailena?
Hello. I am very excited to be here with you all tonight. Now, I'm going to talk about how ECTC has contributed to my successes, but I think to be able to do so, I need to tell you guys a little bit about myself. I come from a background where my parents were both disabled. My father was actually a survivor of polio, who was born in 1946, and then my mother had me at 36. I am a first-generation high school graduate, and I will also be a first-generation college graduate. And that would not be possible without ECTC. I have had so many wonderful, compassionate, and supportive professors here on my journey here. I've had a college professor, or algebra professor, Professor Wicks, who has sat with me countless times and walked me through it, and even just lent an ear to talk about my problems. You don't find that. You just don't, except for here. Professor Eicher, she is the acting professor here at Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, and she has brought me some of my most cherished memories here. I've actually, from being in her class, I've got to meet Mary Jo King, our photographer here for the school, and I've gotten to participate in advertising for the school. I'm on the website for the school. I've also done radio advertisements. Where else could you do that? How cool is that? And I've also had professors show me the support that I needed as a student, told me how much they appreciated my hard work and dedication in the classroom. That means so much to know that my hard work pays off and that it is also appreciated. Also, Professor Rigney. She has shown me so much kind and caring and compassion. And she worked with me when I had car troubles. She understood. She let me take the quiz after class. It was awesome. It really helped, y'all. And then even down to the janitorial staff, I have had wonderful experiences and wonderful conversations that have just positively impacted me and made me just feel so good about my experience here. And then last but not least, the donors have made the biggest impact. Look at all the opportunities here that are available for somebody with my background. I would have never thought I would have went to college. I was terrified of college. And here I am. I graduate next spring with my associate's degree. I have plans to go to WKU, then U of L afterwards to pursue my master's and my doctorate degree. I would not be able to do that if it weren't for each and every one of you people in this room. And I am truly grateful. Thank you guys so very much. You all have a wonderful night.
It's hard to follow that with anything. Shailena, thank you for sharing your story and inspiring all of us, inspiring me to get back out there and find resources and work with generous donors. It is just so humbling, again, to hear each of your stories, and that motivates all of us as staff and faculty of the college. It means so much to hear your testimonials firsthand. As we wrap up tonight, just a friendly reminder about that ECTC Alumni Network. We do have a sign-up table over at the side if you'd like to receive information about events and opportunities like tonight's celebration, would like to stay connected with the college. You're more than welcome to share your email. It's all free. There's some alumni items over there too you're welcome to take if you are a member of our former student body. And again, thank you to our volunteers who helped start that alumni network within the last year, which we know will continue to grow and expand our reach out into the community. You know, in the role of advancement, which is code for philanthropy, but often fundraising, which when I work with folks on campus, sometimes you hear that word fundraising, and it's not the thing everyone wants to jump up and do. But I really think tonight is a reminder of what philanthropy really is and the college's dependence on this community to create more success stories like this one. I'm so excited. I think I heard the word first-generation college student maybe 4 times tonight, and I'm excited to share that one of those 8 scholarship funds that was recently developed was specifically created for first-generation students. And that was created not because of a big fancy campaign or not because of a huge networking experience. It was because of a conversation. Someone shared an interest. Someone shared a desire to help students just like them, first-generation students, because they had that experience and they worked with us to make that opportunity possible. It began with a conversation, and that's one that if you would like to continue to make an impact at ECTC in your own way, that's something that begins with that conversation, but it can ripple out into such a transformative experience and one that can continue to have an impact on students. So we hope you'll consider ECTC as you think about your philanthropic plans. We know we can put those dollars to good use when you just look around the room and you know that this is just a fraction of the lives that this college has impacted. So thank you for spending your evening with us. We look forward to continuing to celebrate our alumni, and these pictures from our alumni inductees in the Hall of Fame will be posted soon in our RPC building. So next time you're on campus, you'll have to come down and take a look. And without further ado, we hope you all have a wonderful evening and ask that our alumni inductees tonight come forward for some pictures afterwards. But have a safe travels home, and we look forward to welcoming you back to campus again soon. Thank you.